PhD Industry Stream. My name is Derek G. I will be your host with the most. As you can see, we're playing Dying Light. The reason for this is that I am dying, pun intended, for the sequel to come out. I already pre-ordered it when it was announced. I'm just waiting for it to, drop. Uh, my friend Jack and I have spent hours and hours playing this game together. But I haven't touched it in a really long time, for multiple different reasons. But today I uh, installed it, got all the DLC put on, and then because I'm a Plus member, I got my save files out of the cloud, and so I don't have to start over again. um, but I do have to warn you guys that since I have not played this in so freaking long, I'm most likely going to be making a lot of rookie mistakes, and yeah, because yeah, I don't remember all of the buttons. So what we're doing now is we're going to go and again, I have not, there we go, not played this in a while. Um, I'm going to check my stash, and then I'm going to uh, go back to the Embers loft area, and I'm going to look and see if I can do some of the things with it. That's not what I meant to do. Okay, that's how I do that. Alright. Let's see. I still have eggs. Alright, and I have coffee. I'm working on the coffee again, it looks like. Okay. Alright. Back in here so that I can look at what I've got on me. I've got a lot on me. I probably could sell some of this. Yeah, I'll sell the last 4 things that are in here. I tend to be a hoarder. Okay, sell. That's right, I can't. I have to know exactly what I'm selling. Hold on a second. Forgot about that. So, Fabulous Oriental Safety Blade, Fabulous Iron, and Safety Blade. I'll just have to look at them really closely in the selling area. So that one. That one. That one. Okay. Oh, look, no. Let's see, what do they have here for me that I might need? Okay. Cable, gauze, chemicals. Any arrows? Nope. Don't need any ammo? Nope. Not for there. Not for there either. Haha! I have max ammo. Cool. Alright. Buttons. This is gonna be interesting. Wait, maybe I can get the bounty here. Yes, I can. Okay. Yeah, see, I haven't done those. Drive a buggy without hitting zombies. Okay, I'll have to try that when I get to the following DLC again. Drive with volatile in the car. Kill volatile spawn during Be the Zombie. See, I don't do... Oh, shit, I should probably check that. Options... Online... Friends only... Allow... No, 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 no... Good. Okay. Make sure I didn't accidentally just, go into that frickin' thing. I need to... How do I do that again? Quests, that's right. And then I can do that one. Go to the underground parking slums, stealthily complete the quarantine zone objective. Do not alert the patrolling volatiles, do not use camouflage. Fuck, that's gonna be tough. But that's okay. Rupert the gunsmith. Alright. Okay. Let's see how well I do after having not played this for a long time. Oh, I forgot about that.
I never expected Iran's destiny to turn out so close to its intention. And yet, so far.
What do you mean?
Iran has always been something of an enemy. It was originally settled in the Middle Ages, but it has always been an open city, a center of trade and commerce. Because of that, the prevailing attitude here has consistently been one of tolerance and acceptance. People of all nationalities, ethnicities, religions, all were welcome within Iran's borders, as long as they could pay the city's taxes.
Sounds like a good thing.
You would think. And for the most part, it has been. The aborted Global Athletics Games would have highlighted the city's diversity.
So, why do you sound so down about it?
Because the outbreak has demonstrated what I fear is one of the more fundamental elements of human nature. We divide ourselves. We divide ourselves and we look for an enemy. The survivors in the tower are a diverse lot, it's true. But who are we more frightened of? The infected? Or Rise and his army of gangsters? And Rise himself? I'm told his men are just as varied as those of us here. And yet, he sends them against us. If old lines fade, we draw new lines.
Okay, well, thanks for that bit of inspiration.
Really? She is so not inspiring. She's actually quite sad. Okay. Oh, come on. Thank you. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm getting it. I'm getting back to it. It's still gonna take a while for it to feel as natural as it did before. But I'm getting there. And at least I kind of remember where everything is. Jiminy. Just this way.
Need some new gear?
No, I need to go to the slums. know if I've done the underground parking, but I don't know if I've ever done it without camouflage or anything. So this will be interesting to see if I can even do this. I might have to practice a lot.
Come here. I've got a special deal
Okay, so
for you.
that's that. Okay. I wonder, can you turn quests off? No. Damn. I wish I could get rid of the ones I've already redeemed. Eh. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Okay. And I'll hold on to those. Blade, alcohol. Don't need that. Okay. And then the quartermaster's over here. Hey, Spike.
These goons are worse than biters.
Okay, yeah, I did all of the side bounties already. Oh, God, okay. Let's go this way. Here. That. Here. This. This way. Here. Over here. Over here. That was weird. Hold on a second, I got a message from a new friend. So I got to message her back. Outfit. Oh, right, there's another outfit and stuff in there. Brecken, Dylan, Jern, Geel. Fadlad's Rider. Hold on a second, I gotta make a party. I like that one, and I kinda like that one. And I like that one too. Hello. Just a warning, I'm streaming, okay? I just wanted to warn you because some people don't like it. And I forgot to mention it. Don't have anybody watching. I'm not a big YouTuber or anything. So how have you been? Cool. Yeah, Jack's not feeling good, so he's not going to join us today. Okay. So other than video games, what do you do? We've never really, chit-chatted with each other. Okay. Yeah, my hands wouldn't be able to handle that. I tried when I was younger, though, when my hands weren't as bad. Wasn't very good at it. I've been thinking about, going and seeing if the local community center or the community college has sewing classes, because I know that sometimes they do. They have like where they teach you how to use a sewing machine and stuff. So that I can like hem my own clothing and curtains and stuff like that. But I haven't gotten around to it yet. Man, I'm currently. I saw you're playing The Sims. I sometimes play that on the computer. My mom loves it. I loved it too. I've been playing since the beginning, but this last iteration has been kind of lackluster. Well, yeah, no, they're not bringing out the stuff as fast as they did in previous generations. They haven't come up with anything new at all. Everything's a rehash of something that's been done before. And so it's just like, my mom's been getting all of the DLC for it, but I haven't been doing it for myself. Of course, my mom shares her access with me when I want it, but yeah. And then let's see. What kind of do you like zombie games? Well, I know you said that you're not good at certain types of games. Are you good at like games that use like swords and knives and stuff like that to cut up zombies and okay. You'll have to see if you can borrow Dying Light from Jack to see if you like it. The new one's coming out, I think, this year. But Jack and I play the first one. Well, we used to play it all the time. we haven't touched it in like, I don't know, almost a year, I guess. Until I picked it up tonight to play it again. So I'm trying to the current thing that I'm trying to do is get through this area. I have to complete the area that I'm in, and I have to do it completely stealth. I'm not allowed to use camouflage, and I have to avoid the bad guys completely. I cannot alert the volatiles. That's the special type of enemy. So I have to learn how to get around without alerting them, which means I have to make it so that I don't get seen at all, which is kind of hard to do. There's 5 drops, which are these bags, and I have to grab all of them. And then I have to, once I've done all of that, I'll be able to craft this special ammo. Fuck, come on. Oh, crap. Oh man. All the zombies have I failed it. Nice, so I let myself get killed. There's a Dying Light companion app. I didn't know that. I need this app. Hold on. I'm gonna look for it on the... Here it is. It doesn't have a very high... It's got a 3 out of 5 stars on the Apple Store. But... what are they complaining about? Oh, come on, I need to see the reviews. The one on top is like, this isn't about the game, but the company, and I'm like, ugh. It doesn't work. I love Dying Light as a new player and recently heard about the companion app and immediately downloaded it when I saw that you can come to the screen. Okay. Something how this won't work with iOS 11? Oh well. I will find out when I... Alright. I have to log in. I'll have to do that later then. So like, I live in the States, specifically California, and so I've been trying. I finally got on disability here. I told you I was on disability, and so I got a message from the what do you call it? Our food stamp people or whatever. Here, and they're like, well, it wasn't food stamps that was the problem. It was the hold on, I gotta get this thing. Okay. It wasn't food stamps that was the problem. It was the medical side of it. See, even though I'm on disability, I'm not on the Medicare program, which is the Social Security disability program, because I'm not retirement age. They save that for retirement people, and so it's kind of frustrating because I got in there and I got in and they're all like, you make too much money, and so we're gonna take away your medical coverage. And I'm like, I make too much money. What the hell? Well, it turns out that the Medi-Cal people, they don't take into account your bills, just your income, and at that, it's your gross net income. Yeah, so like, it doesn't matter that I pay like, $60 for my cell phone, $35 for the house phone, $500 for my rent, all that stuff, and I'm like, God, you guys suck, No wonder a lot of the kids that work started complaining. Damn. I'm not doing the thing right now. I'm actually trying to learn a route. Because if I can do it without alerting the volatiles and everything doing this specific type of route, then I can do it again. I can do it again later. Oh god, come on. Where is this thing supposed to be? In here. That's another thing, is I gotta learn where the packages are as well. Cause I thought that it would be in this truck. But it's not over there. Maybe it's in this one? No, that's not it either. Ah, son of a bitch. Ah, crap. It saw me. Yeah. Good thing I'm not trying to do that specific task at the moment. Though I'm gonna die. You know. Fuck. This is no joke. They added a bunch of free content a few years back. And, the subsonic ammo, it was part of it, but you could only loot it from certain people. And then they made it so that when people complained, they made it so that you could do this task and unlock it permanently for this save file. Well, this'll be difficult as shit to do. Because I'm going to have to memorize where all the drop locations are, and then I'm going to have to memorize the best route to go through without being seen by a volatile. And that's going to be tough. Because their routes overlap and stuff. Oh, don't look this way. Oh, fuck. Yeah, that's what he told me as well. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll, like, read for a little while, and then I'll play Dying Light or Fallout 76, and he's like, okay. So, I played Fallout 76 a little bit earlier, and then, decided to try to play this for a little while. And now I'm doing... I can't. I can't play with him anymore. It's not that he's not a great guy. He genuinely is a great guy. It's just that, I have autism, and Mike says that he has it too, but he does not have autism. He has, like, ADD or ADHD or something like that. And he tried to say he's got Asperger's, but he's too chaotic to be autistic. And so he gets, when you try to put out an idea of something to do or whatever, and he'll get loud and say, why don't we do this instead, or like when we were racing, we told him we were going to be racing because you wanted to race, and Jack and I prefer racing to being all chaotic and crap too. And so though Jack likes Mike's chaotic shit, I don't know how he can, but he does anyway. And so halfway through he bitches out because he's not winning, he's not he's getting frustrated because he can't do anything, and I'm like, we're all telling him it just takes practice, right? Right, because he would just randomly start shooting people and get wanted it, or when he said that we were going to go out and do this thing, and then he's like, oh, we got to go get my car. Dude, you just said we were going to go do this, and now what? Yeah. And it's like you said, it can be massively annoying. Oh, come on. Yeah. And so because he's so loud and chaotic, I get frustrated, and then I get loud, and my mom gets upset. Damn. Yeah, I got killed again. Hell of it. But yeah, it's just so I was like, I sent him a message. I said, dude, I can't play with you anymore. I can't be friends on PS4 and I explained to him why, and without being a dick, and then told Jack that I just can't play with this dude. It's not that he's not cool and everything, it's just I can't handle how loud everything gets. Oh, son of a bitch. Yeah. Yeah. I'm hoping they don't see me in here. Well, I don't mind if you get on, you just want to race or whatever. I don't mind that, because truthfully, that's the only thing that I really like to do on GTA. At least the online version. This Grand Theft Auto, I really didn't like. My favorite is San Andreas, which I think is the 4th one. And but I didn't like how it felt, the plot felt unfocused. Because you kept switching characters, and there wasn't any main thing that you were supposed to do. I mean, the closest thing you got to a real enemy was the FBI agent that was trying to frame Mike. Or I think Homeland Security. I don't know. I think it's FBI guy, and that was the closest thing to a main villain or a main storyline that you had, and everything else was massively chaotic and not very linear, and I realized that it's an open world, sandbox with goals and stuff, but Jesus Christ, 5 had more of a plot line. at least that one was understandable. If you want to do something that's got multiple people that you can play different characters in, try to make something... try to make the storyline something steady, something that people can understand. I played GTA 5 all the way up to after we steal the submarine to do that main heist and stuff. Oh my god, why does he keep standing there? I get this one volatile that just stands there and doesn't do anything. It's Dying Light's volatile. Okay, in Dying Light, it's, the zombies, quote unquote, are not actually zombies. They're mutated corpses, sort of. You get infected, and then you slowly but surely turn into something that looks like a zombie. It's not actually a zombie. And some infected will turn into volatiles, and some infected just turn into like different types of nasties. And the plot's very interesting. You play this fixer. I don't know if you've ever heard of what a fixers are. Basically like they're not bounty hunters. They're like you pay them to fix your issues with things of different kinds. In this case, Kyle Crane was hired to fix it so that hold on, I'm trying not to die, and I did anyway. Kyle Crane was hired by a corporation to go in and supposedly steal this file that was supposed to have a cure or something in it, and it turned out that the company, of course, was lying. That they're the ones that set off this whole infection because they were trying to militarize the whatever this was. Oh, come on. Trying to get into this thing because you have to break into this elevator to get the other to get in here. Anyway, I thought for sure that it says there's a package in here. Oh, it's over there. But so you get in there and you start doing the job, and then suddenly the company keeps getting shadier and shadier. They keep asking you to do some weird shit, and finally you say, you know what, fuck you, and like you start working for the survivors. That's not it. Oh, come on. You guys suck so hard. Oh, yeah, that's like first-person shooter. It's mainly just like kill the things, right? Well, this is first person, but it's not a shooter. I mean, there are guns, but you don't. If you use them, you call down the volatiles and stuff to yourself. Because since they're not technically dead, they're sound reactive. Oh, come on. Where's this damn package? At this point, I'm just trying to find out where the last package is, so that I can finish this. And I don't know how anybody fucking completes this. With the way it is. Anyway. Anytime I jump over anything, it makes me not crouched anymore. Anyway. But yeah, it's mainly melee weapons. Because you have to, like I said, you have to be stealthy. But, oh, come on, there's zombies everywhere. Oh, infected. I should probably be... that way. This way. I have no idea where this package is. Looked at almost every single frickin' trunk and vehicle in the search area. Firecrackers. At this point, I'm running around again trying to figure this shit out. So what are you doing in your game? What? Oh, okay. What did you say? I couldn't quite hear you. Okay. I've been tempted to get the second or third one for my computer again. Yeah. God damn. It gives you an orange box on the map that's supposedly where the thing's supposed to be, is inside this area. And I've gone into that area, and I found jack shit. Where have I been punked? Seriously. There we go. God, that took forever to find that thing. I kept running past it apparently. It was inside of a trunk that was already open apparently, and I thought I had opened it and found it or if I opened it and didn't find it, it was like basically camouflage because I'd opened everything else trying to find it. It doesn't help that it's, pretty dark in there. And you're not allowed to use camouflage, which gives you a little bit of night vision. And if you use your flashlight, you alert things. And I'm out here at night. Great. Wonderful, wonderful. How do I do this again? I'm horribly bad at this right now. God, I'm relearning the controls, and I'm dead. He didn't grab the ledge. Yeah, well, I warned everybody that will probably either come into my stream or watch the video later because it goes onto my YouTube, that I am just like horribly bad right now because I haven't played the game in ages. I'm actually tempted to start over again just to help myself. I play that too. Yeah. I haven't played it in ages, though. I played it with Jack. In fact, I think the only reason I got it was because to play it with Jack. Because he went on a jag where he was playing nothing but Diablo for a while. And I was like, okay, I'll play it with you. And then he stopped playing it. Or no. And then I got bored from playing nothing but it. And because after a while the grind gets to me and I just don't want to play. I just don't want to do it anymore. And then hold on, I'm apparently I have a couple of different files, but I'm gonna delete 2 of them. Anyway, but I got a pretty high level barbarian, and I think I was working on a necromancer in Diablo 3, but I might end up having to start over again because I got a new I'd have to look at my cloud saves because I got a new PlayStation because my old one died. And I didn't move everything. So hold on. Normal. There's normal, hard, and nightmare. Those are the levels for this game.
HUD activated. Commence briefing.
Approaching Iran.
Data on the subject, Kadir Suleiman. A local political figure hired to maintain order after the outbreak.
Skip the beginning because I already know the whole plot of the game. What do you want, Ducky? Hello, puppies. Do you guys need outside? Really? Really? Okay. Okay. So I'm trying to win Publishers Clearinghouse. It doesn't matter if it's a forever prize or whatever. I every single time that they do a big prize, which is like every month, I guess. I try to win. I enter almost every day, trying to get it. Try to get it. Today was the last day to enter into the 5,000 a week forever prize, and what it is that, if you win, you get 5,000 a week for the rest of your life, and then in your will, you can bequeath your prize to somebody else, and then they'll collect it for the rest of their lives. Yeah, so, since I'm not going to have kids, at least I don't think, I might meet somebody who's got kids, I don't know. But since I don't have any children or plan on having children, if I were to win, I'd I would bequeath um, the prize money to my cousin's kids, or kid, one of them. I can only choose one, but I can make a proviso that that they use it to help their sibling, um, or halvesies with their sibling, which means that each of them would get like anywhere between 7.5 and 10 grand a month to do whatever they wanted with for the rest of their lives. Because my cousin Carolyn and I grew up as siblings practically, so the only reason I don't see her kids and her anymore is because they moved. She moved to Oregon, and then met a guy whose family lives up there, and so she stayed there and started her family. And since it's like an 8-hour train trip, just to get up there. I haven't been able to see them. In fact, I haven't seen her or her children in quite a while. The last time I saw her, Christopher, her youngest, was like not even close to school age, and now he's like in second or third grade or something like that. It's been quite a few years since I've seen her children, and or her, except for through Facebook, which is a wonderful thing. Well, I've got family all over the country now. My cousin lives in Oregon. In fact, the only family that lives in town that I still talk to is my aunt. Her and her husband and her children never left town, though they didn't associate with the family very much because his family is more important, it felt like at times. I think it was more that he didn't want to have to deal with the bad parts of the family, because the parts of the family that I don't associate with that still live in town, they're all like ex-gangbangers and drug dealers and ex-druggies and stuff like that, and basically bad bunch. Though some of them are trying to do right. One of them quit drugs, and now he's focusing on his kids and everything and whatnot. But they were all gangbangers. Their dad was a gangbanger. It was multi-generational thing. I call them the ghetto side of the family, just not as a derogatory thing, but because they really are. And then I have cousins that live in Kansas and various parts of Kansas. Kansas City, Kansas, Kansas City, Missouri. I don't know which side of the line that they live on, since the city is literally divided by a state line. And then Junction City, and I don't know if Teresa's in Junction or if she's still, or if her and her husband moved somewhere else. But yeah, it's all over the place now. That's just my cousins, my close cousins. And some of my third cousins, second or third cousins. That's all the only ones I mentioned. I have way more family after that live in multiple different places. In fact, I had a cousin who lived in London, and now he lives in Hawaii. For a while there. So and I have cousins in Alaska, We're all over the place. Hello, dogs. What? You went outside, you got a cookie, what do you want? You guys, why? I love my dogs. I really do. But they've got this thing, especially Ducky, where he wants to be petted on while he sleeps. And so he insists on being in my lap, and then he will not leave me alone. And it doesn't matter if I petted on him while I was reading, or if I played games with him, whatever. It's just, strangle. He's more Jack Russell than he is Chihuahua, so he's got all the Jack personality types. He's energetic, he's loyal, he's needy. He wants to be right there with you. He wants your total attention all the time. And then Gibbs is more Chihuahua than he is Jack Russell, so he's just happy if you're paying attention to him. You could just rest your hand on his head and he's happy. And he will just come up onto my chair and he will curl up and he will snuggle with me. And he'll be completely happy. In fact, my mom's been kind of jokingly jealous because once I got my brand new chair from my back pain when I got on disability, he started coming out here and laying on me for hours, most of the day, truthfully. If I get up at 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, and I don't have to do anything, and I just sit down to play my game for or read or whatever for the day, he'll jump up and curl up and just lay on me for on and off for 12, 15 hours. He'll just snuggle. It's like having a cat. We can't have cats, unfortunately. I'm allergic. And since I'm asthmatic and prone to sinus infections, we're not going to risk bringing a cat in the house anyway, I'd have to live on allergy medication. And probably still get sick multiple times a year. Because when we I didn't used to be allergic to cats growing up. And I guess when I became an adult and my adult allergies kicked in, I became allergic. And we didn't realize it and for the last I think it was 2 years that I lived with my mom and our cat there, before I moved out, and then and with my grandparents. I helped take care of my grandparents as they were aging. Anyway, I got sinus infections really, really bad. Like the last year that I was there, my sinus infection got so bad it spread to my ears and my eyes. Yeah, I would for like a couple of days there. I was waking up with my eyes glued shut. It was so bad, and but we didn't know what it was causing it until my grandfather insisted that I get an allergen test when I was living with him, and then we found out that I'm highly allergic to cats, and then I'm mildly allergic to guinea pigs and horses. Because, they tested for all the pets and household stuff. It's just like I'm allergic to mold, but not a specific mold. Like, seriously, I don't know if you've ever had an allergen test done, but they do yeah, they how at the top they do like the mixture, the conglomerate of molds or dusts or whatever, and then they do the individuals down the line. I had a high reaction to the basically the test at the top, but not the individuals. So they don't know what kind of mold, they just know I'm allergic to mold in general. And I'm allergic to dust. So basically I'm allergic to earth. The earth in general. Because everywhere's got dust and mold. Everywhere. It sucks. Grass, trees. You would not like it here. I live in what I call a fertile valley. So we get high grass, tree pollens, because this is the Sacramento Valley is where I live, and it's big farm country. They're constantly growing rice. There's orchards within a couple hours drive from my house. It's a great place to get produce for cheap, but it's not a great place if you're asthmatic or prone to allergies. That's why I want to move to Arizona. if I win Publishers Clearinghouse, my mom and I we're gonna pack up. We're gonna get one of them pod things. I don't know if they're like this moving pod. You pack up this like shipping crate type thing, and they'll ship it to wherever you want, and they'll put it on your driveway, and you can unpack it. But like we're gonna do one of those, or we're going to rent a U-Haul, and we're gonna put all of the stuff that we want to keep um into boxes, and then of course pack the furniture in, because there's a couple of pieces of there's a few different pieces of furniture that I'd want to keep, and mom would probably want to keep too, including my new chair. And we're going to Arizona, and I finally got my mom to agree to getting like a moderate to large sized condo instead of a house. Because I know in Arizona, most of the houses don't really have lawns or anything like that, but they still do have bushes and trees usually, that you would have to take care of, and I don't want to have to do that. I mean, yeah, I could hire a gardener with the kind of money that would be coming in, but like that means strangers around the house and having to have a certain schedule so that so we know not to let the dogs out, and then having to go and check and make sure that they close the fences properly and stuff like that. And I don't want to have to deal with all that. And there's been a few. I go on Redfin and I dream shop for places, and I put them in my watch list. And today I found one over 1,000 square feet, first story condo, 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom. Yeah, it's got like a little outdoor area that the dogs could go out and use for the restroom and everything. The bedrooms have carpet, but the rest of the house doesn't. Which is great because we can just vacuum the bedrooms and sweep them up everywhere else. And then, not that I would be doing that, I'd be hiring a maid. And my mom already said that if I hire a maid, she's not allowed in her room. I said, okay. My mom will take care of her own room, or I'll do it. Um, and then the maid can take care of everything else. uh, that way I don't have to deal with it. And then I can spend my days exercising and going to the pool, because only certain parts of Arizona get snow. And it even in their winter months, only nighttime's really that cold. The rest of the time it's fairly warm. And so I could go swimming year round, and I can use a lot of these places, including the place that I looked at today. Their clubhouses have gyms. Yeah, so I could go and lift weights and walk on their treadmill in the air conditioning instead of trying to walk in the heat. Go swimming every day, and then I could play my video games or do whatever when I'm at home. And if I want to go out on a trip, like I told Jack, I'm going to kidnap him at least a couple of times a year to go out and do something with me. Like even if I have to go fly up there, grab him, come back down to Arizona so that he can hang out and see my place for a little while, and then we'll go and do whatever. Like I want to take him to the San Diego Comic-Con. I want to go to E3. There's a few different places all around the country that I want to go see. Like, I want to go to Roswell and actually spend a few days there, taking in the whole alien thing that they've got going on, in that town. I want to go to New Orleans during Mardi Gras. I want to do, there's this place called Astoria. It's where Goonies was filmed. I want to go. They have an actual festival there. I want to go to Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, not during Groundhog Day though. I could not handle the chaos that it is Groundhog there, but I want to go and visit all the places I saw in the movie, in that town. and because the diner the diner exists there, the streets that they showed, the place where they throw the festival, all that stuff exists. So I want to go see that. I want to go to Forks, Washington, but not just because it's not because of Twilight. I wasn't a huge Twihard person. But because I want to visit this small ass town that inspired this woman to write this story. Because supposedly it's really small. The house that the Cullens lived in, that all big glass house, actually exists there. The beach and the reservation both exist, and that would be an interesting thing. I like Indian, Native American culture. Um, I also want to go up into British Columbia, Canada, and that would be another thing to steal Jack to go do, because I don't think he's ever been uh west of Hamilton. I, yeah, so like I'd grab him. We'd go over to the First Nations reservation, because I think I have family up there. Um, Very distant Native American family that moved up from Native America. 'Cause I don't know if you know First Nations, but like the Salish moved from um, America to Canada. They like the tribes split, and I think that the family that I'm blood related to is went up to Canada. Yeah, so I want to go up there, and then I probably should play my game instead of talking to you and petting the dogs. And then
You pinch him. You're scared.
and then
Then pinch
I want to
him.
go
He
to
blinked. He blinked again. What if he's a zombie?
there's this big city that's there. I can't remember the name.
Run!
Vancouver? I think it's Vancouver. I want to go up there and look around. There are certain places where you would not be able to get me to go, though. Like, I would never go to New York City unless I had a bodyguard, a driver, and somebody else with me.
You sleep for 3 days like a dead man. That's
And
the
you'd get
fever.
me there for maybe 3 days to
After
do
great
like
start.
3 things, and then we'd be gone. I'd be like, no.
Paradise, can't you
I'd
see?
rather be in Long Island
Okay,
or Jersey
enough joking around.
than in New York
Room
City.
190. Possibly.
What do you mean 31?
Ask the boss.
New York has got so many people in such a small square footage. It's crazy.
31. That's your number.
That's why I don't want to deal with
Excuse
it.
me?
Your number.
I'd go and
You're
see
31st
the
infected. I'm
the top of the
18th.
Empire State Building,
Everything gets
building,
counted here.
the Statue of
One fewer
Liberty,
doses of antizin.
and then
One more
I'd either
infected.
want to
One more
go
running
to Hogs
around.
and Heifers, which is a bar, or Trump Tower,
31 infected and only
and
Emil died because of this guy? Quiet. Fuck quiet. Now he's gonna get Emil something.
I'm going up, but I'm trying to like walk around in this thing with one hand. And it's fucking crazy. Okay, so like but yeah, those are the only reasons I'd want to go to New York. I'd have too hard of a time going to the Twin Towers Memorial. Because I was actually watching television when the planes hit. I was actually watching. Yeah. And it was not a
looking
good
for the-
time for me.
Are you the boss?
That was the same day that I got such a bad backache
Am I
that
too
I
young? You got
was
the problem with
bedridden
my
for
age?
weeks.
No,
And so yeah, I'd rather not.
I'm not lazy, you little shit.
And then let's see, I'm looking around. Gotta go down a floor, I think. Anyway, no, it says I gotta go up. Huh? Oh, right, I gotta go to the 13th floor before I can do any. Right, okay. What's that? What did you say? Okay. You'll be back, or are you back?
Where do you
Okay,
think you're
got
going?
you.
The 13th floor. I'm getting some stuff for Raheem.
13? Shit. That's gonna be some dirty work. But we all got to pull our weight around here, huh?
I'm sorry, Ducky, but I'm playing my game. I petted you for so long, and now I've got somebody who's actually watching my feed. I have to play instead of petting you and talking
Jesus.
to
How many people died
Karina.
here?
Excuse me.
Crane here.
Where were you? We've been waiting for your report. It's been over 70 hours.
I lost my radio for a while. Don't worry, the cover's intact. No contact with the tower's leader yet. Unable to confirm identity. I'm taking steps to blend in.
Acknowledged. Time is of the essence, Crane. Remember that.
Welcome back.
There's one more thing. I got bitten. I'm showing no symptoms, but the people here say I'm infected.
Then you'd better get your hands on some antizin ASAP.
Help!
Hadn't you?
Help! Somebody!
What the hell?
But yeah, I have big plans for Publishers Clearinghouse. If I ever can.
I cut my arm getting away from him. Oh, God. You had to kill him, didn't you? God damn it! That was my brother. I came down to see him and...
Easy. It's all right now. I'll get help. Hey, Raheem, this is Crane. I'm down here on 13. Listen, this guy of yours got fucked up pretty bad getting away from a zombie.
Oh shit. 31? You went into the park? Is it safe down there?
Yeah, well, it's safe enough now.
Okay, don't move. I'm sending Lena downstairs.
I gotta go talk to Mark again.
Hey, hold still. Lena will be here any minute.
Go.
What's that? Yeah, I gotta...
Got to find some gauze. Oh, and alcohol.
There we go.
Combine them.
Can you say something again?
That will stop the bleeding.
Yeah, you're just very quiet, Karina. Do you not have a headset?
Try to stay calm, okay? I'll be right back.
That's why I keep asking you to say what you said again. It's because sometimes you sound really far away. So. There's alcohol. I have to go fight Gauze. Much better.
Okay, I think that's everything I'm gonna find. Let's
Thank
give this
you.
a shot.
That's also why I kept asking you to repeat yourself the other night too, when we were playing with Mike and them. I get you, because your hearing aids sometimes give feedback because the thing's too close to your head and stuff. Yeah, I had an acquaintance that had hearing aids in both of ears like you. No, 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 it's not. But it's an unfortunate truth. It's just hard to hear you, especially when we're playing games and stuff. You know.
Okay, who's hurt?
Yeah.
He's bleeding pretty bad.
Let me see him.
Yeah.
Well done, 31.
Jack mentioned that he's not a tow truck driver anymore.
Perhaps I misjudged you.
Yeah, I just want to help out
Okay.
and repay you guys for what you did for me.
Well, good. Come find me, and we'll talk about how you can do that.
Ah. Yeah. And then of course there's, you know, the people who attack the tow truck drivers just because they don't want to pay a fine or whatever, and wait, yeah. Well, at least it's not a repo, because repos are worse.
All right, taking care.
But yeah, I just hold on.
So,
Talking to Raheem.
Is that enough? Do
I
get
used
Dr.
to
Brecken
do all
now?
sorts. I used to be a security guard.
go change your clothes.
Um,
I left some new ones for you in your room. You're in
and
194.
Something wrong with
that was
what I'm
actually one of
wearing?
my favorite
You need
jobs,
something that
but
fits the job Brecken wants you to do.
the
Call
company
me
that I
Change.
worked for turned out to be not so great. Well, no, they would take certain jobs, and then like this one time we were doing a Section 8 house, which is kind of like the welfare housing. You know, they get supplements so that they can you know, right. Yeah, that's exactly what it is low income housing. And so they would do that, and then hold on, I gotta do that. So they would grab that because there was gunshots and loud music and stuff like that going
Okay,
on,
Raheem, I'm ready.
and we were
Where do I
there
find
just to
Brecken?
to be paid witnesses to make sure
You're going to earn your keep.
things would stay quiet.
If you've got the skills. So get
And
to the gym.
then
It's on the top floor. Just a couple flights up.
I was working that job, and my supervisor comes and says, "Hey, you know, the social worker that's in charge of this site wants you to stop people and card them, and ask them where they're going, what they're doing, how long they're going to be there."
Raheem, I don't see you.
And I'm
Where are
like,
you?
"This is America, right?" So I'm like, "No, I'm not going to do that. That violates the personal civil rights of the person coming onto the property, unless there is, you know,
What are you waiting for?
signs
Get over here.
dictating that this is, you know, what you're going to be getting into if you walk onto the property. I'm not, it's illegal
Want to feel right at home. A crane?
for me to do
On a
that.
crane.
You can get us sued. I have been a security guard for the guys watching me right now, saying I sound like a 14 to 16 year old guy because I'm transgender. I'm actually 39 this year in May. So I am old enough
Welcome
to have been
our
security
gym.
guard
First
as
things
well as
first,
everything else.
You've got to learn how to run.
What do you mean, learn how to run?
Just do what I say, alright?
Anyway,
Now,
so like I told him
come down
no,
to the very bottom.
that I wasn't going to do that no matter what the client wanted because it was a violation of the civil rights of the person walking on the property. Well, they didn't like that.
Holy shit!
They, you know, and the client
But don't blow your load just yet.
didn't renew the contract or dissolve the contract or whatever with the company because we wouldn't do what she asked. Well, I'm sorry, our company should have sued her for asking us to violate civil law. But instead, they got mad at me and put it on my record that I refused orders. And then, again, we had this other client that said we were missing a door in locking up the facility at night. And I asked repeatedly. I asked my supervisor and I asked the guy. I said, what door? You know, come show me which door we're supposedly missing so that I can do my job. And instead of doing as I asked, so that I was doing what the client wanted us to do, they just blamed it on me. And so yeah.
Try not to slow down once you start
Because you said I'm not old enough.
Stop. You're probably dead.
Anyway. He's like, your sex has nothing to do with it. I'm like, and he's like, why did you bring that up? I'm like, because you said I don't sound old enough. And so I'm explaining. Anyway.
For a noob.
So one day, they just stopped calling me and putting me on the schedule. They don't even tell me why. They don't even notify me because in California it's will to work state, and since it's a will to work state, I cannot sue if they just stop scheduling me. Just like they can't give me a bad reference or sue me if I just quit without notice. Yeah, so it just turned out to be bad, and that turned into the worst year ever because then I had like the bare minimum of unemployment, and I was trying to take care of my mom and me on it. And it was just horrible. That was a horrible year. But it's made me thankful for everything I do have now to have had that happen. So I guess in the end it was the best thing to happen to me.
Okay, that's enough. You've got some serious natural talent, man. Either that, or you've done this before.
But yeah, and then I worked for this place called Proctor U that was pretty decent, but it went from quality over quantity to the owners of the company becoming greedier and greedier. And
What's happening to me?
oh shit, hold on.
Talk to me.
And so it became quantity over quality. And since they had set the business on that path, and they had taken on so many high profile clients, they couldn't go back. And so it became horrible. Like, you had to get, it takes at least 10 minutes to get somebody through all the different processes of security, because what we were doing was we were watching people take their exams online through web cameras and desktop observation
Raheem, what the fuck was
software. And
Does this mean I'm turning?
so it would take at least 10 minutes per person. Well, they insisted that you should have 5 people in their tests per hour minimum.
Talk to the quartermaster.
But they would reward people for having more than that, and you would get punished if you got less than that. And it didn't matter if the clients were the problem, if the different people weren't fast enough or they had issues or whatever. No, it wasn't their issue, it was yours, because you weren't moving fast enough. It didn't matter if you had technical issues, didn't matter if the client's computer didn't run that fast, none of that. It was like a call center, but worse. Because with call centers, at least it's all verbal, and you don't have to like run them through all sorts of different security things and stuff like that, like you have to with this. And then we were guaranteeing to catch cheaters, or at least catch most of them. And then, of course, since we were saying we would catch cheaters instead of just being like observers, because even in-person proctors for testing don't catch everybody. Okay, we're supposed to be there as a visual deterrent and a way to help legitimize the tests. Okay, we're not there to it's not our job to catch your cheating students. you know, it's our job to try to catch as many as we can.
Oh, you're the new scout.
But we're there to basically say, yeah, we didn't see anything weird going on.
I'm not gonna bother.
And with the way that they were doing it on our end, we weren't catching much of anything.
This is for you.
Because we were doing so many people.
Word around the tower is you're
I
just another
I would
deadbeat
like
in line for
any
food,
normal
man.
person to be able
By
to
which I
start
mean,
five
people
people
much
per
like
hour
you,
and still
but
keep
don't
an eye
blame
on people
them.
testing.
It's easy to get paranoid when you're
Because
isolated.
we started doing
And
these
since
things
somebody's
things
jamming
called watchers,
communications to the outside,
where
there's plenty of paranoia to go around.
where
The whole
people
damn
would be
city,
paid just to
nobody
watch
calls
tests.
for help
They
but
would never,
ourselves.
you know, people
You
test.
bring me some supplies from the
But they were
aircraft,
having to
no?
watch
And you'll
10,
see people
20
change
people
their
at a
crews
time
in a hurry.
in
That's
different
a
windows. This is
game
not like
changer.
all in the same room where you can kind of like
Bear that in mind.
watch over them
Listen, is there anything else?
easier.
I'm in a bit of a rush.
No, you're
Also,
watching everybody in their individual
looking to
houses,
get
in their
more
individual rooms, in
popular,
individual
you can try
individual screens
helping
in
folks.
2 dimensions
Do a few
on a
favors,
computer.
They might like you more. Might even
So
find
we're
a
seeing a
woman.
small bit
Keep your
of the
warm
room
at
that they're in.
night.
Okay? And our security measures were supposed to catch anything that might be out of place and all that. And it was just really bad. And wasn't getting any better, and so the stress of the job, I just couldn't do it anymore, especially after I got cancer. So I'm in remission. Yes, I had cancer. I'm in remission for still for the next 4 years. But yeah, I had cancer. They weren't sure if it was cervical or if it was ovarian, because by the time they caught it, it was literally all over inside of me. It was stage 3. And they weren't even sure how close to stage 4 it was. They actually had they basically did a complete hysterectomy, and then they did 6 months. I go in once a month to get a chemo treatment. So I basically did 6. I call them rounds, but I'm not sure if that's the appropriate terminology. But I did 6 rounds of chemo. Then I did 15 weeks of external radiation. And then I did 4 sessions of internal radiation where they basically put a seed of radiation on a metal pole and they put it in and then back out. It took like 2 or 3 hours of prep just for like a 15-minute procedure with that. It was horrible. Luckily, I helped them because I went to a teaching hospital. I helped them come up with a new method for people who are sensitive down there. Because they would have to put lidocaine shots in there. And so I said, why don't you use the lidocaine gel in there and wait a little bit and then do the shots? And that improved it immensely, because before it was like getting like 6 bee stings in your hoo-ha, and it was horrible. And it hurt like bitch. I have a high pain threshold, and I was crying. There was a lady that started at the same time as me that quit after the first time, because it was so painful. But that was scheduled for 4. I did 3. The doctor said I didn't need to do the 4th one. And then that was 4 years ago. And the doctor that did the surgery that found my cancer, which was actually funny because they didn't know I had cancer until I went into surgery for something completely different. And he said that I would have to be watched for 8 years. So I've still got another 4 to go before they'll completely clear me for that specific cancer anyway. And what they had originally gone in to do, I had a cyst the size of a grapefruit on one of my ovaries. And he'd gone in to remove that. And I had actually started bleeding out when he made the cut. And I was already anemic. And so he had to open me up to try to stem the flow, and that's when they found out I had cancer. Talk about serendipity, right? And then because of the hysterectomy surgery, I ended up with a hernia because they didn't warn me that that was a possibility. They told me to take it easy, okay? But taking it easy is different from person to person. If they had told me that it would take 6 months to a year for the interior part of my body to completely heal, I would have taken it way easier than I did. And so I ended up with an umbilical hernia. It's right there with my belly button. And it doesn't hurt most of the time anyway. I do have to watch what I eat because if I eat something that makes me have too much gas, it'll hurt. But in general, it doesn't hurt much at all. And it just makes it so that I can't do much anything. And then I went and saw a doctor to try to get it fixed. And because I used to weigh 370 pounds, I weigh like 340 something right now. He told me, no, I'm not going to touch you with a 10-foot pole unless you volunteer for bariatric surgery. I was like, dude, my heart isn't a problem. My joints aren't a problem. I said, I've been through a major surgery with no problem. You know, the guy basically told me that no surgeon will touch me unless I get down to like 200 to 250 pounds. Which according to the BMI index is almost normal. It's only about 50 to 100 pounds over. And I'm like, dude, the BMI doesn't take into account bone density, water weight, muscle weight. You know, none of that. So I could weigh 300. I weigh 340 something pounds right now. I could weigh 340 something pounds, and only maybe 150 of it be like actual fat weight. But they don't care. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ. So I actually have an article when I go to see. I'm going to try to go and see another surgeon. I have an article saved on my phone, written by a doctor here in the States, about a couple years ago, about how they've been a doctor for so long and how big people should have their hernias fixed too, because there's been so many strides in the surgery to do that it's not a big deal anymore, because they've got this biomesh stuff that they can layer in between muscle and fat and stuff on your wherever your hernia is, and it's not a problem for the intestines or anything to grow into the hernia into the mesh anymore and stuff like that. And so he's like, you know, it's been, basically he says, he's like, it's been, the problem is that it's an antiquated, as he put it, there's an antiquated system in place where the automatic reaction to big people having hernias is to just not help them. And he's like that shouldn't be a thing anymore. He's like that should not be a thing anymore. I'm like, preach on, dude. Yeah. So I'm hoping that article and the right doctor will help out, because I really want to get it fixed. I've got that surgery, and then I have to have top surgery done, and not just because I'm trans. I've developed cysts in my left breast tissue.
Okay, new guy, be careful.
No, with my history of cancer, it's not. So, so they told me that I've got to get that surgery done before I'm 40. So within this year to beginning of next year, I got to get it done. Which is why my the whole like my fighting with people to get my Medicare
south.
and everything was such a big ass deal. Well, Medi-Cal, it's not really
Crane, kid.
Medicare. Medicare's a different program.
Just keep
And it was such a big deal. My mom had to fire me
and try not to make too much noise. Sound attracts those fuckers.
because I was working as her in-home support services person, and she ended up having to fire me from that job, so that I could keep my medical coverage through the state, because I was making like almost $300 over their limit. It was fucking ridiculous.
I hope those rotting fuckers never figure out how to climb on top of a van.
Yeah, Jack said she went into surgery and she's doing
Are
okay.
you there?
Camden, are you there?
So I'm
Oh,
supposed
okay.
to get a vaccine?
What? No. Suppressant. It's called antizin. Suppresses the symptoms. Here, sit. Antizin postpones the inevitable. Best the GRE could do.
Yeah.
Inevitable. So there's no cure?
It's a variation of rabies. There's no cure right now, but you see, I've been running tests on both antizin and infected tissue. A cure is possible, definitely possible.
Oh shit, you really think you can figure it out?
With Dr. Camden's help, yes, I think so.
Yeah, I was extremely lucky, and I realized that when I tell people that I went in for a routine surgery that was supposed to be outpatient and woke up with a hysterectomy.
We've been collaborating via radio.
I never had to deal with the emotional stress of knowing I have cancer, because by the time I woke up and found out, it was already gone, and it didn't move or anything like that. So I was extremely lucky, and I realized that.
Hoping some of the infected would eat them, so I could observe and document the results.
But they didn't?
It bore no fruit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ashamed that I wasted so much time on it. No reason to hold any antizin in reserve.
Yeah. The only reason they went so hardcore on me with the 6 sessions and the external and internal is I had ultrasounds, interior and exterior. Most people don't realize unless you've had a vagina that they have internal rods to do ultrasounds from inside. But they did internal ultrasound, they did external ultrasound, they did all those other things, and they never saw the cancer. So since that happened, and since it was so close to being 4, stage 4, they didn't want to take any chances at all, and so they hold on, I'm looking at my different things. That is the starter kit. Agility's locked. Let's wait, because survivor rank. There's an anniversary going on for this game, which is another reason why I'm playing it. It's the 4-year anniversary since it first released, and they doubled the experience and stuff. So as part of the celebration for it. Anyway. But they didn't want to take any chances that they would miss something by not treating everything extremely. Bright side, Benadryl puts me to sleep. And that's what they give all chemo patients to help with allergic reaction. Friends was living with us at the time because he needed a place to go, and I needed somebody to help take care of the house. And so during my treatments and everything, so he would come with me, and the poor guy would spend most of the time bored out of his mind because they'd give me, the minute I would sit down, they'd put the IV in, and then they'd give me the Benadryl. And then I'd knock out for hours. Because my chemo treatments took about 6 hours. And so, I would knock out for the majority of my treatment and sleep. And then, he would, he'd be bored out of his skull. It was so funny. I felt so bad for him a lot because I'd just go to sleep, and he wouldn't know when I would wake up or anything like that. So we're gonna re-equip. See, Benadryl's the only thing that knocks me out. I can take NyQuil will help, but it won't knock me down as bad. I can take all sorts of different pills, and nothing will put me to sleep. But Benadryl, oh my God! You give me one dose of even over-the-counter Benadryl, and I will go to sleep. There's something in it that it just knocks me out. It's not an allergic reaction. Oh God, they tried to give me this one painkiller, I guess it was, after the surgery while I was still in the hospital, and every time they gave it to me, I'd end up puking. I can't remember exactly what it is. It's in my medical chart. Oh, wow. You're lucky you didn't die.
I'm outside. I'm working for Spike.
You're Crane,
yeah.
Right? Listen, our runners tried to secure one of our safe houses for Brecken's mission.
But yeah, it's just...
He's in a courtyard by Zephyr and surrounded by zombies. We gotta help him.
Alright, I'm on it.
Things are weird. Like, I pushed them to let me out of the hospital because I wasn't expecting to be in the hospital, and because I live with my mom. I knew that, and I helped take care of her. I knew that she didn't have anybody there to help her out. And so I was like, I need to get home. I need to do this. And so I pushed and pushed until they sent me home. Well, I was not ready to go home. And the doctor knew it, but he didn't want to fight me either because I threatened to leave against medical advice. And so when I first got home, I ended up scaring my mom because I was puking everything I ate up. Even if it was soft stuff. I was puking it right back up because my body was just not ready for it. And so the doc ended up having to give me anti-nausea meds to help with that. And then, hold on. Trying to loot and do things here. Hold on. And then, the whole, like, I don't blame the doc that did my surgery for what happened with the hernia and everything. I don't even really blame myself because I didn't know that it was a possibility. I blame the situation because he went into this surgery for me thinking it was just going to be this one simple type of surgery, and then suddenly having to like open me completely up, and yeah, and so and they had to do it so fast to save my life. You know, so I don't blame him for not warning me about the hernia possibilities and stuff like that because the whole thing got FUBAR from the beginning. Though my aunt says that I was really, really funny on the stuff that knocked me out. Because I don't remember talking. And I didn't really talk too much as far as I know, but I was out of it. And my mom had warned me that was going to be a possibility because our family has apparently a history of strong reactions to knockout drugs.
Okay, Jade, I'm here, along with some infected.
And but they knocked me out, and I stayed out. I stayed out for a long time. My aunt mentioned that I talked a little bit when they were taking me from the surgery area to the room that I ended up in. Now that I think about it, she's asked me before, but I didn't remember until now. I vaguely remember talking to her in the recovery while they were waiting to put me in a room, but I don't remember what was said by anybody. And I remember the sounds of being in the elevator. They were so full because the hospital I went into is kind of small. They were so full that and me being there and admitted was so unexpected that they put me in basically the loony ward. They put me in the psych ward, and so I had I don't know if you've ever been anywhere near a psych ward, but I was with they had a screamer.
Fuck.
On the ward. Yeah. So I'm laying there trying to recover, trying to sleep, massively uncomfortable because I can only sleep a certain way. Because of all the stuff they had on me. And I fucking totally I kept puking at night because of the freaking, like I told you, I was allergic to some of the pain meds they were giving me. And so, like, no wonder I wanted to go home, right?
How's it coming? Got the lights on?
Oh, I'm trying to get this one angle. Because I have to... I hit the body and it went into the wall. And I wanted to dig the weapon out of the guy. Anyway, it was horrible. Horrible. But that's how I met Jack. Yeah. So, like, the guy that was helping me out, and everything, he and I share the same birthday month. He was born slightly before I was in the month, but though I'm older than him by a few years. And I think his is on the 1st and mine's on the 24th. Anyway, he decided to go halvesies with me to get a PS4. I was originally going to get an Xbox One, but he convinced me to get a PlayStation instead. Which I wouldn't have met Jack if I had gotten the Xbox, but I kind of wish I had gotten the Xbox. Anyway. Well, no, Xbox Ones are now fully backwards compatible with 360 games. You know, I had a bunch of stuff that I had already bought on my Xbox account and all that stuff that I'm going to have to rebuy on my PlayStation account, stuff like that. But, you know, if I went Publishers Clearinghouse, I'd probably buy one anyway. Well, no, like I said, there's certain games on 360 that are exclusive to Xbox. Yeah. So I'd probably either get a 360 or I'd get an Xbox One, and then I'd pay for a gold account and a plus account and all that stuff. I'd still play mostly on PlayStation. Hello, dog. I'm gonna stop streaming. I will talk at you guys later. Anyway,